All right, we're all the way up to lick number 14, the A minor Blister. And, you know, you might get a blister after doing this line. It's probably the most, of all the lines we've done so far, it's definitely the most aggressive and kind of in-your-face kind of line. We're using a lot of the up and down thumb technique, but a little bit up-tempo than from some of the other ones, and kind of playing it a little heavier, and it's a little more kind of almost, it's funky, but it's more kind of more in the rock or electronica kind of mode. So kind of zoning this one. I think you're gonna like this one a lot, and this one you'll be able to, you know, groove on for hours and hours. And we're gonna do it like this. Come on. Okay, with this lick, using some of the double thumb stuff as well, some plucking stuff, and I'm also kind of bringing something new into the mix that I haven't talked too much about, which is, we'll start kind of backwards and work forward. And it's where I'm doing at the end of the fill, at the end of the line, you'll hear me do this little line, or little fill that goes. And what essentially what I'm doing is I'm hammering from an open A up to the C, which is the minor third in this case. We're in the key of A. And then as soon as I hit that, as soon as I hammer up to that C, then I'm plucking the octave on C. So you have, again, a triplet rhythm, which we've used a lot of triplets in a lot of stuff we've done so far today. And what I always do on the octave is I leave my pinky down on the octave. I don't re-lift it up again. It makes the lick a little easier, especially when you start getting into faster tempos. You can just do it over and over and over again. And then all I'm doing is the same thing, and I'm just pulling up to the fourth of A, which is the D. So I'm doing 6 on the C and 2 on the D. Now, going backwards, working at the beginning of the line, what I'm doing is I'm hammering from a G up to an A and coming down on that kind of mute, you know, with my right hand, like that. 1, 2, 3. Another triplet. Triplet is the Freekbass rhythm of the year, I guess. And then I'm plucking the minor seventh up to the octave. And then I'm doing the same thing, but going to the C up here, the octave minor third C up to back to the A octave there. Now, in between each one of those, I'm doing a down and up thumb stroke. So 1 up. So we do that. 1, 2, 3, and the final 4. That's when we're doing that hammer, thumb, pluck type thing. Again, I'm not, you know, I don't claim to be the only bass player that uses this technique. A lot of players like Victor Wooten, Stu Ham, who I believe actually probably does some of this, which I believe he did some stuff with the TrueFire people, if I remember right. And it's just an efficient way to kind of create quick rhythms and make them a little bit easier to do. But the thing, again, with all these, even that there's, I guess you could call kind of a trick to these rhythms, always remember the execution is what makes it right. You do not want the people listening to you or watching you play necessarily knowing it's a hammer, in terms of like, they don't, as far as they're concerned, you're hitting that note twice. You want to have that much authority on each note. They can think you're doing that, but with us, we can do it this way. We can get that speed going a little bit quicker too as well. One thing I want to mention too real quick also that you might have caught on my right hand, if you see, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll use my pinky and I'll kind of leave it almost like it's a guide down here. I put it underneath my string, and that keeps me real focused in one place. Now, I have seen other bass players that just kind of keep their pinky tucked up while they're slapping like that, which I do sometimes. But when I'm doing real precise stuff like this, I'll keep my pinky right down there so I can always kind of move it back and forth, and that keeps my thumb real centered in one position. So here's the lick, real nice and slow.